Let me ask you guys something. And I want you to be honest with yourself because I've been looking at y'all's content and just the world's content. And my question is, when was the last time you posted something and actually meant it? Like it's not a Canva template, it's not a Transformation Tuesday, it's not like a caption that you copied from somebody else's page and just like swapped out the emoji. When was the last time you posted something? This is the question. When was the last time you posted something that came from your gut that made you nervous to hit publish? Well, if you can't remember, that's the problem because right now there's thousands of providers in your industry posting the same exact thing, the same exact templates, same captions, same book now link in every bio. And every single one of them is wondering why nobody's engaging, why nobody's booking. The algorithm hates them or they're shadow banned. It doesn't hate you. It just can't find you because you look like everyone else. And here's what's actually at stake. Because this isn't just about likes, it's not just about followers. This is about your livelihood. This is about the clients who need you. But they don't just need you, they need the real you, the one with standards and opinions and experience, but they can't find you because you're hiding behind safe content that says absolutely nothing. Every day we stay beige when we are scared. You stay beige, I like to call it, from someone who has half your skill, but she has twice the audacity, right? She's booking the client that should have been yours, not because she's better, but because they were brave enough to say something real and you weren't. And that's not a talent problem. Now it's a courage problem. And I get it. I get why you might be holding back. You don't want the drama. You don't want the pushback. You don't want someone in your industry screenshotting your post and talking about you in a group chat. I have been there many times. I know that fear, but I also know what's on the other side of it. And what's on the other side is a business that doesn't need to beg for attention because they trust you before they even meet you. Because they book with you because they already know who you are. They know what you stand for. They know why you're different. And that's what we're going to be building today. It's not just going to be me talking to you. We're going to be doing this together. Okay. First, it's going to be me teaching. And then towards the end, we're going to be building it. We're going to be we're workshopping this, right? I want you to find a movement, your personal movement, a brand that people will actually follow, not because you asked them to, but because they couldn't look away. So if you're ready to really stop blending in, this is for you. This whole thing is for you. Okay, stop being beige. So when was the last time you stopped scrolling because someone said something real? Probably this morning. Just something like super real, like, oh my gosh, finally someone said it. I want you to think about two posts right now. A clean font, a Transformation Tuesday, book your appointment today, and then post B, someone looking into the camera saying, here's what nobody in my industry will tell you. And here's an example. Which one of these makes you stop? A, Transformation Tuesday about teeth whitening. B, here's what no one will tell you about tooth whitening. And it even says, and I might lose clients once I say this. Which one is going to make you stop scroll?
B.
Yes. So if you would stop for B, why are you posting like A? Safe content is killing your business. So the way the algorithm works is that it rewards reaction Let's talk about how social media actually works. The algorithm doesn't care if your graphic is pretty. It doesn't care about your color palette or your font choice. It does to some degree, but not as much as you think. It cares about one thing. Did someone react? How many comments? How many saves? What about the watch time? It counts that too, and that's it. So reaction comes from a point of view, typically, an opinion, someone that makes someone feel something. Right now, we're staring at screens all day, staring at screens. We crave human connection. Like we will gravitate towards the most human thing that's thrown at us because that's what people are craving. Here's the paradox is the content that feels safest to post, the content that nobody remembers, and the content that feels risky to post is the content that builds the most trust, right? If it's safe to post, nobody remembers it. If it feels risky to post, that's the content that builds trust actually, because people can feel when someone actually means it. If your content could belong to anybody, it belongs to no one. And now we're going to dive into this a little bit more because I don't want you guys to think that I just want you guys to make people mad for no reason. That's not the goal. But, I tell everyone this all the time. I tell myself this. I tell my children this who are now influencers. Here's the math. Okay. And remember this your whole life. This is the rule of thirds. For every 100 people who see your content, you might have heard me talk about this before. 33% of people will dislike it. Dislike it, probably hate it completely. Probably get a comment. Now, those people were never your people. Let them go. The other 33% will be indifferent. They will scroll past everything, right? They just don't care. But the other 33% will love it so much. They will comment, they will reshare, they will repost. They will send it to 5 people. They will send it to their family chat. These people, that 33%, they are your lifers. This is your community. This is your movement. So you cannot reach your 33% without losing the other 33. There is no version of building a movement where everybody likes you. You need to be hated by 33% of people. You need to be. It's not possible. It's not how this works. The question isn't, how do I avoid being disliked? The question is, am I willing to be disliked by the right people to be loved by my people? That's the question. And you guys are just posting a lot of beige content. If you do this, what beige content gets you is 0 from all 3 groups. The haters don't notice you. The indifferents scroll past you, and your lifers can't find you because you sound like everyone else. Beige is not safe. Beige is invisible. And if you're feeling like really insecure about this, I get it. But I spoke to one of you over the weekend who was actually really nervous about posting her standards on stuff. And she was like, I'm really insecure. And I had to challenge her. I said, your insecurity is actually ego. Let's talk about why that is, why you're holding back. Most people think that they're being humble by staying quiet. They think that not sharing their opinion is playing it safe. They think that being agreeable is being professional. But let me reframe it for you. Your insecurity is actually ego. Why? When you hold back because you're afraid of what people will think, that's not humility. That's self-preservation. You're protecting your image, your comfort, your fear of judgment. That's ego. The person with no ego doesn't care how it lands. They just serve. They just speak the truth. They show up for the person who needs to hear it, not for the applause. Let me give you an example, and this might sting. It stings because it's true. This really reminds me of King David. David, before he was king, He was the guy with the legacy. He was the kid standing in front of a giant that trained soldiers were too scared to face. Saul and his whole army, grown men in armor, like would not step forward, not because they couldn't fight, but because they were calculating the cost. What if I lose? What if I look stupid? What if this doesn't go the way I planned? They had ego. That's the same math you're doing right now before you hit publish on a post. David didn't do the math. He didn't run a cost benefit analysis on the giant. He didn't ask, what will people think of me if I miss? He just knew something needed to be said and done, and he was willing to be the one to say and do it. Not because he wasn't afraid, because his purpose was bigger than his fear. And that's the energy I need from you. Stop being Saul. Stop standing in the armor, doing nothing because you're too busy protecting yourself. Be David. Pick up the stone. Say something. And if the Bible isn't your thing, that's cool. 8 Mile. Eminem, final battle. He's standing on that stage and he does something nobody expects. You know what he does? He roasts himself before his opponent can. He puts every insecurity, every vulnerability, every shameful thing about his life on the table before anyone else can use it against him. And what happens is his opponent now has nothing to say. And the crowd goes crazy. He wins because the most powerful thing you can do is say the thing everyone expects you to hide. When you own your truth before someone else can weaponize it, you become untouchable. And that's what authentic content does. When you post your real opinion, the one that makes your stomach flip, you're not giving people ammunition, you're taking it away. You're saying, this is what I believe, and I'm not afraid of you knowing it. And the people who resonate with it, they don't just follow you, they ride for you now. They defend you. They send your post to their friends and say, you need to follow this girl. But none of that happens if you're standing on the stage with your mouth closed, calculating how not to offend anyone. So I'm going to ask you guys, are you Saul or are you David? Are you the rapper who chokes or the one who grabs the mic? Because your people are out there right now scrolling, searching, waiting for someone to say the thing they've been thinking but haven't heard anyone else say out loud. They're not looking for perfect content. They're looking for a real person. And you are not giving them that right now because you're too busy being safe. Safe is not a strategy. Safe is a slow death for your personal brand and your business. Safe is how you wake up 2 years from now with a pretty grid and an empty calendar. So let me ask you one more thing. Like, what is it that's truly holding you back? What scares you? What's the opinion you've typed and deleted 14 times? Whatever that is, that's your content. That's your brand. That's your movement. So stop protecting yourself and go serve your people.
Hey, stop for a second. Did you know that most people who watch the CEO Glow Show are not even subscribed? What? So if you are on a mission to level up your beauty business, your family life, your prayer life, hit that subscribe button now so we can stay in touch.
Courage is not the absence of fear. It's deciding that serving your people matters more than protecting yourself. Let me show you some case studies. Here's some proof that it works. I want to show you real people whose accounts took off, not because they had the best lighting or the fanciest editing, but because they had the courage to say something real. I want you to pay attention to the pattern. It's the same every single time. Let's look at Javin Ford. Who follows this guy? He's a cosmetic chemist. He's the guy who actually makes the products of your favorite brands that sell you. So he started going on TikTok and Instagram and breaking down what's really in your skincare, calling out ingredients that are useless, which ones are harmful, and which miracle products are just marketing, quote unquote. He told the Huffington Post that most of what's out there, it's just scientific illiteracy. He refused to dumb it down. He'd say things like, this ingredient does literally nothing for your skin and the brand knows it. Other chemists stayed quiet because they wanted the brand contracts, but Javin didn't care. He said what he knew to be true. And now he's got over 300K on Instagram, almost 600K on TikTok. He launched his own product line that was profitable from day one because of this. Someone else, case study too. He's the obvious one, right? But he's obvious for a reason. He came into business coaching space, Harmazi, because he said, most business coaches are broke people teaching other broke people how to make money. He called out the entire info product industry while being in it. He gave away his frameworks for free when everyone else was gatekeeping behind a $997 course. People in the coaching space hated him for it. He didn't care. He posted the receipts. He showed the math. He said things like, you don't need another course. You need to do the work. He went from relatively unknown to one of the most followed entrepreneurs on the internet. His whole brand is built on saying the uncomfortable thing that everyone in this industry knows, but won't say it because they know it would hurt their own sales. Do you follow this guy, Ryan Serhant? I do. He's in real estate. So it's an industry, right, where every agent posts the same just listed, just sold content. Ryan started being radically transparent about what actually happens in real estate. The deals that fall apart, the clients who ghost, the politics of the industry. He documented failures with the wins too. He'd say things publicly that agents only say behind closed doors. You know, other brokers thought he was giving away too much. And he turned that honesty into a media empire, a best-selling book, and one of the top real estate brokerages in New York. His show, every single one of them grew for the same reason. They stopped performing and they just started talking. And like I said earlier, the goal isn't to be provocative. Let me address that because I know some of you are thinking that I'm telling you need to be controversial. Or I'm telling you bring the drama. You might be thinking like, I just want to do good work and have clients find me. I hear you, but that's not what this is about. This is bigger. The goal is to be human. This is actually simpler. Our goal is not to manufacture controversy. The goal isn't to be edgy for clicks. The goal is to be an actual human on the internet. That's it. Because the bar is shockingly low. Look at what most people in your industry are posting right now. Really, go look at it. Go on Instagram after this call and scroll through your competitors. Tell me what you see. Because I'll tell you what I see. I've seen it 1,000 times. If you're a fitness coach, everything looks the same. Leg day, who's with me? With a flexing emoji, a boomerang, and a dumbbell. A before and after, DM me deets. Same post, different gym, different face, same nothing. If you're in real estate, oh my goodness, just listed, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, stunning kitchen, won't last long. Yeah, neither will your account if that's all you're posting. Every agent in your city is posting the same house tour with the same royalty-free music and the same dream home caption. I could swap your name out with any other agent and nobody would know the difference. If you're a brow artist, scroll through Instagram right now. Tell me it doesn't look like one giant copy paste. It's hilarious. Same symmetry video. What about the healing timeline? Trust the process caption. Same everything. The only thing that changes is the face on the table, barely. And you've got hundreds upon thousands of artists posting the exact same content, wondering why nobody's choosing them specifically. And here's the thing. It's not because these people are lazy. It's because somewhere along the way, somebody told them that this is what professional content looks like. Somebody sold them a template pack on Etsy. Just be consistent and post every day without ever telling them the most important part. You have to actually say something. Consistency without a point of view is just noise on a schedule. When I tell you how low the bar is, I mean, it's underground. It is in the basement. Having a genuine opinion, just one. just one real thought that's actually yours already puts you in the top 10% of your entire industry on social media. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to yell. You don't have to start drama. You just have to be real. And if you're feeling burnt out by your screen, maybe it's because you forgot how to be a human being. You ever feel like you're in this like scroll hole and content isn't exciting? It drains you. And then you have to go into nature, right? Because you're what? Why? Because you're not being a human on there. It's so sad. Don't erase who God made you to be. Don't erase your personality. This is a really big distinction. I don't want you to just be polarizing for attention. I want you to be honest about what you believe. Polarizing for attention says whatever gets a reaction, attacks people, not practices, burns out real fast, attacks drama, not clients. If you're honest about what we believe, you say what you genuinely think. You critique practices, not people. You build a movement. And what you do is you attract lifers who truly trust you because you are brave. One burns out. That's why you don't like content. The other builds a movement. Know the difference. And lastly, I'm going to ask you some questions, but before I do, I need you to understand something. Because if you don't understand this, this exercise won't work. The goal of your content is not to go viral. It's not to get likes. It's not to get shares. It's not even to get followers. If you like stress out about that, it's not going to happen. That's just a byproduct of it. The goal is to make someone feel something so specific that they screenshot your post and send it to their friend with the message, you need to follow this girl. And do you know what makes someone do that? It's not a pretty graphic. It's not a trending audio. It's not a carousel with 10 tips they'll never read. It's when they see your post and their gut reaction is this. Finally, someone said it. Think about that phrase for a second. Finally, someone said it. That word finally is doing all the heavy lifting because finally means they've been thinking it. They've been feeling it. They've known it. But nobody with a platform had the guts to actually say it out loud. And then you came along and you say it. And in that moment, you're not just a provider. You're not just another account. You become their person, their hero, the one who gets it, the one they trust because you said the thing they couldn't even articulate, but no, deep down it was true. That's how movements start. Not with a marketing strategy, not with a content calendar, with one person saying the thing that nobody else wanted to say because they were too comfortable or they were too scared to say it. Think about every account you've ever fallen in love with, every creator you follow where you would literally defend them in the comments. I guarantee you that there was a moment for them too. Like, you know, one post, one video, one caption where you thought, oh my goodness, finally someone said it. And from that moment on, you were in. From that moment on, you were a lifer from one thing. They didn't have to sell you. They didn't have to convince you. They just had to be the honest one just one time and you were locked in. That's what we're about to find for you because here's the secret nobody tells you about content strategy. You don't need 100 ideas. You don't need like 30 different topics. You need one finally someone said it take. And it's content for months because it's not a trend. It's a conviction and convictions don't expire, right? It never gets old because truth has a long shelf life. So what I'm about to do is ask you a series of questions that help you find it, okay? I want you to write your answers down. I don't want you to overthink it. This is just kind of like a brain dump exercise. You're driving right now, don't worry about it, but here are the questions I want you to answer. What's the biggest lie your industry tells clients? What's something most providers do that you think is actually harmful? If I could blow up one standard practice tomorrow, what would it be? The thing that makes you cringe every time you see it. You're like, ugh. What about what makes you cringe when you see other artists marketing themselves? No names, just the behavior. What about what's something you wish you could say to potential clients but feel like you can't? If there were zero consequences, what would you tell potential clients but feel like you can't? This is a big one for me. What conversation is nobody in your industry willing to have publicly? The thing everyone knows but nobody says. Next, where do you see providers exploiting vulnerable people, even unintentionally? Where do you see providers exploiting vulnerable people, even unintentionally? Okay, finish this sentence. I know this will make people mad, but say it. I'm kind of waiting. I just want to know. Someone said it finally. I don't know. Now I want you to look at your answers and I want you to see which one made your heart rate go up. Which one did you almost not write down? Which one made you think, I have been waiting to say this even in a chat for years, right? That's your take. That's your content pillar. So let me show you some examples from opinion to content. All right. So one opinion is an entire content series. Finding the opinion is the hard part. You just did that. Now I'm going to show you how to take just like one take that you just typed out. It becomes dozens of posts. It's a simple formula. Okay. So your take, your hook, your template, your series. So just, it could be your take, like whatever it is that you're willing to stand behind. Your hook is the first 3 seconds, makes people stop scrolling. Something super bold or a warning. A template is a repeatable caption structure that you fill in every time, 10 different ways with one take. I'm going to show you examples of how I do it. The truth bomb. Nobody in this industry wants to say this, so I will. Now, it doesn't have to be this template specifically that I'm going to show you. Nobody in the industry wants to say this, so I will. But that is something you could absolutely use. Nobody in the blank name your industry will say this, so I will. So here's something I do. No one wants to say this. I'm giving you permission. Here's what I said.
Reminder that you do not need to apologize for wanting to make a lot of money at all. Somehow in our culture, money got turned into this evil thing, and every once in a while, there's a Karen that says money shouldn't matter. Okay, Karen, let's think about that. What's the most impactful charity on the planet? St. Jude? The Red Cross? World Vision? Do you think they just run on good vibes? Or money? Yeah, they run on money. They ask for donations all the time. Helping people requires resources. Now let me ask you something controversial. Do you think there's a correlation between the people who say money shouldn't matter and people who've never actually been poor? Because I've noticed something. The people who have struggled financially at some point in their lives rarely ever say money doesn't matter. Usually, it's comfortable people who say things like that. Nonsense like that. Here's another question. Do you think being poor is a good strategy for helping the poor? No. Being poor doesn't help anybody. No. But yeah, building wealth can, because wealth creates resources, like the Red Cross needs. And here's the real psychological problem with the money is so evil mindset. If you have the ability, the talent, the opportunity to build something successful and generate resources, and you choose not to work hard, how exactly does that make you moral? Someone's gonna have it. Someone always will. The question isn't whether wealth exists. The question is who has it and what they do with it. I think money doesn't make people selfish. I think it just reveals who they actually are. Being uncomfortable with money doesn't make you more virtuous. You don't have a halo on your head because you're uncomfortable with money. You know what it does though? It just makes you less useful to the world that's in need. If good people refuse to build wealth, it just leaves more resources in the hands of bad people. You know what I'm saying? Money isn't evil, it's a tool, just a tool. And tools become powerful in the hands of people who use them wisely. Food for thought. This is at 49 calories. It's a brownie. I'm so excited. I made it with egg whites. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah, that's what this was supposed to be, but it's not loading. Truth bomb. Finally, someone said it. Myth versus reality. Common belief, reality of what actually it is. You know, the brain loves comparison. When it sees a piece of content and you're comparing two different things, it just loves it. So it's like, find your own version of it. Here's mine.
Tell me something. Why are the $70 clients usually the neediest type of clients, the most demanding, but the $7,000 $7,000 clients are the easiest, most trusting, most decisive. $70 client. What specials do you have? $7,000 client. What results can I expect? $70 client. Can you lower the price? $7,000 client. Great. How soon can we start? $70 client. Do you have anything cheaper? $7,000 client. What's the best option that's going to maximize my results? $70 client. Let me think about it. $7,000 client. Send the invoice. $70 client. Needs convincing. The $7,000 client just needs some clarity. $70 client focuses on price. $7,000 client focuses on the outcome. Same service, different psychology. If your business feels stuck at $70 clients, you probably have a positioning problem. That's why I created the Genius Flip, the #1 thing I did that turned me into a multi-million-dollar business owner without a degree, without an MBA. But what I did was I hire people now who got MBAs. You gotta watch the Genius Flip. This masterclass is like one of the most favorite masterclasses I've ever done. It's all about the...
All right, I have a call to action. You get it. But you should compare something, myth versus reality. The drink is blue spirulina. Do I drink it every day? Kind of. But why do I put it there is because it's a visual hook. Everyone asks, and it's so crazy looking. Finally, someone said it posts. Here's mine. Oh my gosh, people love this type of thing where it's like stuff I wish I could tell my clients, but I can't.
Hey, just a friendly reminder to avoid cheap clients at all costs, okay? Because cheap clients are going to cost you more in the long run. Let's read some DMs that beauty pros get. Another girl said she'd do it for $80. Great, go see her then. You should absolutely go see her, okay? Can you price match? This isn't Best Buy. Another one, I'm just looking for the cheapest option.
You see what I'm saying? People, like, this is what you wish you could tell your clients. It's so rude. So it gets reshared a lot because at least I'm not saying it. I'm reposting it. So I want you to come up with that on your own.
Just a friendly...
What is that for you? Like, what do your clients wish they could say to their overbearing partner about their skincare routine and how long it takes? You know, they want backup. Like, stick up for them. Here's what I know about you. You already know what you think. You've known for a while. You've had the thought 100 times. You've typed the caption and deleted it. You almost said it on camera and then you didn't. You were driving one day on a road trip and you thought about it. You were so mad about it. You didn't do it. This is your permission slip. Remember the math. 33% will love it. 33% won't care. 33% won't like it. 33% who need to hear what you have to say, they're literally waiting for you right now. They can't find you if you sound like everyone else. They can't. Stop being beige. I think beige is great on walls. I mean, I have it all over my living room. But not with being a human being. Now go say the thing. Your 33% is waiting.